agents, this debrief targets an elusive gunrunner inside of Washington, D.C., aka Cassie Mendoza, including her cash cohort, Danny Weaver. Establishing contact with the gunrunner is listed as high priority and imperative to weekly operations. Gear offered via the gunrunner's inventory can be purchased in bulk, which will expedite an agent's proficiency and expertise gains, if not provide new gear to increase your arsenal. So, where in the world is Cassie Mendoza? Agents must first discover the location of Mendoza's middleman, Jared Nash, aka the Snitch. Intel suggests Nash has been elusive inside Washington, D.C., acting as a buffer between field operatives and the exact location of Cassie Mendoza and Danny Weaver. However, despite the gunrunners being fixed on a single location each week, the Snitch is mobile and can appear in more than 40 different locations. Thanks to agent intelligence and the Division 2 community, here are all the reported sightings inside of the Washington, D.C. map of Jared Nash, aka the Snitch. I've also included 3 loves, or locations of value, for agents to efficiently discover the whereabouts of the Snitch. Note: in the event the Snitch does not appear after fast traveling to each love, simply log out and log in again to spawn the Snitch. Further, enemy activity in the vicinity of the Snitch will compromise his appearance. Agents are advised to eliminate surrounding enemies, then fast travel to a safe house before returning to the compromised location. Love 1 is near the American History Museum in East Mall. Fast travel to the mission location, then turn right and head south towards a pavilion. The Snitch will be standing next to the pavilion. Love 2 is near Space Administration HQ in Southwest. Fast travel to the mission location, then turn 180 degrees and head north towards the building entrance past the closed shutters. Once inside, turn left. The Snitch will be standing inside the elevator shaft. Love 3 is in Judiciary Square near Charlie Checkpoint for Dark Zone East. Fast travel to Charlie Checkpoint, then turn 180 degrees to exit the checkpoint. Turn right and head north towards a ladder. Climb to the second floor of the office building and enter through the window. The Snitch will be standing to the right near the north wall. Agents should also be advised that the Snitch is armed. Although this may come as no surprise, and despite his efforts to avoid suspicion in areas of conflict, Jared Nash will defend himself if provoked. Reports confirm aggravation towards Shade Network operatives is highly unlikely. However, assume his efforts are for self-preservation and do not expect him to guard your 6. Agents are instructed to defend Nash, stay alive, and preserve this connection at all costs. Note: these locations are identified as loves due to the Snitch's proximity to fast travel locations and spawn integrity. However, if agents have discovered the Snitch at alternative loves or have practiced other spawning methods, then please share inside the comments below. Once the Snitch is located, agents can simply interact and open the map to identify the exact locations of Cassie Mendoza and Danny Weaver. Each location is marked with a shopping cart icon. Agents will also notice a timer when viewing the shopping cart icon, which designates the hours of operation shared by each vendor. Note: upon weekly vendor reset on Tuesday at 0300 hours EDT, Cassie and Danny will be closed after interacting with the Snitch, who does not need to be contacted again until the next reset. Agents must then wait 24 hours until 0300 EDT on Wednesday to first conduct business with the gunrunner and her cash cohort. Access to Cassie and Danny lasts for only 24 hours. However, they resume business on Friday starting at 1100 hours EDT and again on Sunday at 1900 hours EDT. The Snitch will also drop a bounty after interacting. Completing the bounty is not required to gain access to Cassie and Danny. Agents can collect the bounty and complete or abort via the map interface to save for another time. Warning: Agents are highly advised to conduct their business with Cassie and Danny ASAP. Distractions out in the field can and will occur. In the event you manually reset the Washington, D.C. map to refresh control points, the Gunrunners locations discovered will also disappear. Agents will then be forced to find the snitch again to rediscover Cassie and Danny's locations. So, after discovering where in the world is Cassie Mendoza, what specifically is she selling? Cassie Mendoza offers agents a variety of high-end named weapons, gear, and mods. Purchasing said items requires E-credits. E-credits can be earned by completing missions, participating in map activities, looting enemies and containers for gear and trinkets to sell at vendors, and by selling items extracted via contaminated loot from dark zones. Note: reports suggest those who have not completed the secret Hunter Mass objectives inside of Washington, D.C., New York City, and Brooklyn will not have access to the high-end named gear items Shield Splinterer, Hunter Killer, or Huntsman. All masks must be collected in their respective region objectives to gain access inside Cassie's inventory. Please refer to my Hunter Mask guides for assistance, and be sure to like, share, and leave a comment about your own Hunter experiences. Thanks. Danny Weaver offers agents a variety of caches in limited supply, which changes weekly. These include exotic caches, named caches, optimization caches, crafting material caches, field proficiency caches, seasonal caches, and enhanced legacy season caches. However, unlike Cassie Mendoza, purchasing said caches requires the textiles currency. Textiles are primarily earned by opening apparel caches. If an item received is a duplicate of your inventory, it will automatically be converted into textiles. Agents have also reported leveling up and completing certain projects in-game to also reward textiles. If you know of any additional sources of textiles, please share inside the comments. Thanks. Overall, answering where in the world is Cassie Mendoza is easy. Agents will no doubt select one of the aforementioned loves or use an alternate location to spawn the snitch and discover the Gunrunner's secret spot, as well as her cache cohort. Again, the weekly pursuit of Cassie and Danny is marked high priority, especially for those agents invested in the endgame. Having an option to purchase gear in bulk, which would normally be a grind to collect, to increase proficiency and expertise scores is indeed a boon. This debrief concludes to remind agents to preserve the integrity of Cassie and Danny's secret locations, as well as safeguard the snitch. Intel suggests Jared Nash, aka the Snitch, is cooperating in the field and currently in good standing with the Gunrunners. However, anything can change in this post-apocalyptic world. If you found this video helpful, then consider subscribing and be sure to share your Division 2 thoughts inside the comments below. Thanks for watching, and good hunting, agents.